the first initial step of any designing process is the inspiration. And trust me, I had a hard time to think as to what I actually wanted in my collection. But very soon, I don't know what it was, but it just hit my head that I really want to do crystals, because I've seen crystals. It was like a sign for me. I was starting to see crystals everywhere. So I was like, you know what? Let's do more research on crystals, gems, stones, rocks, whatever, whichever colors, whatever I could do. I was like, let's do it. So I got this book called Gems and Something, the one that you can see on the screen right now. What I did was I just opened the book. I took bookmarks. I had these little bookmarks like post-its, and I just started putting it on the pages that sticking it sorry to the pages that I found interesting. I really just wanted to see whatever was in my head. Like, I was just going through the pages and I'm like, if I find this interesting, I'm just gonna put a mark on it. So what I started to do was I just started bookmarking bunch of things, whichever I found interesting. Basically, I used this book to give me inspiration on the colors, on the forms, on the raw texture of these stones, of these gems. And as you can see in what I'm showing right now, I was just going through with a lot of, stones, these minerals, rock salt example that you can see right now. I really like these blues and whites, and something about them made me feel good. So I was just going through it, and I have a whole storyboard regarding this. And I had a lot of things, and I had a lot of reasons as to why I chose this theme for my collection. So that I will probably show it in another part of this video, but for now I'm just showing you guys how it is that just concentrating on the pictures and not really on the font. But sometimes I was just looking at these any attractive names or attractive words that I could probably use anywhere. But for the most part, it was just showing you guys, seeing for myself all these pictures, what is drawing my attention, sticking. I know for sure that I wanted these greens, I wanted purples, I wanted pink, I wanted blues, reds, and all of these gemstone colors basically. So as I kept going through the book, I started getting more clarity on what I want, and things started to fall in place. So that's what was great for me. I had good book for inspiration, but this is what I did. I just went through the pages and I just started bookmarking. I really, when I start just look at things and things start to attract me, I get really obsessed with them, and I just want them, and I want them to be done. I make decisions very quickly. If I look at something and I like it, that's it, done. I'm not even gonna bother about looking at other things. That's how I am. So this is what I did for the first book. Now I took such books, and I took more books, more fashion books, and I started to get inspiration for silhouettes or patterns or materials, fabrics, or anything that sort. My dumbass realized that I was supposed to write on the particular bookmarks as to what I want from that page or what caught my eye, and I did none of that in other two books, and this was like the third book that I was doing. And then I realized, so I was like, okay, let me write. At least I started writing on this one. So I wrote in that particular page, I wrote pants because I wanted to do something with pants for sure. And this one, I was really intrigued by this balloon square looking sleeves. Honestly, it's a drafting of that page, but for me, it looked like an enhanced butterfly sleeves, and I took that from it. That's what is great about inspiration. Finding inspiration is that you don't have to look at a thing, anything as it is. It could be something completely different what gets to you. Like example, now you look at this wool. It's not compulsory that you have to take wool into your head. You could take that spider web ish pattern, or for me, I couldn't look at any of that, and I could just look at the word exaggerated, which was a clear idea to me that I wanted enhanced sleeves, enhanced gown, exaggerated stuff, so extra stuff. So that's how I connected to this particular word. So that's what is great about fashion, creating, or anything, is that everyone looks at things in their own perspective, and it becomes a beautiful thing at the end of the day. You could literally get inspiration from anywhere. You could be looking at a wall, you could be looking at a tree, and just still get
That
inspired.
this
I
dress,
wanted to
I
do something
really
flowy,
like this
short,
short dress, and
fluffy, and all of that, so I just
I
wrote that
genuinely like
down.
these kind of
Even though
dresses.
it's not actually
They're
a
called
buffet dress,
bouffant
this is more
dresses,
of a
so I
skater
really like
bodycon
them.
dress.
I thought
And open mind as to, look at it with like another set of eyes kind of thing, like a new perspective. So I open the pages again, and I go through everything again, and I shortlist whatever I wanted. So whenever I'm shortlisting, I'm going to remove those bookmarks so that I don't get confused. So that is what I was doing over here, and I was trying to explain you how this whole process works for me. And I somehow finished these 3 books in like 2 hours, and then I just was like, okay, this is now the time for me to take break, and I decided to take a break and get back. So that's it for this process, and now we are gonna jump into another process. We are doing customer board now, more like client board, and I was my own client. Yes, I was. So I was going to basically do female collection in 20s to 30s age group, and I wanted to do a urban lifestyle couture collection, evening style, everything that you can read right now. This was my customer board. I don't want to go into much detail with the colors and the customer board because the process is pretty simple. I just think about the customers, I just think about the colors, and colors is something I'm very, very good at, and I think I can just get to the bottom of the colors very quickly. And this took, I just scribbled bunch of colors from the gems in the rock book that I saw, and I just scribbled few colors out with the same. This is where I started to write all the finalized concept ideas in my head. I just wrote them all down, with starting with colors, materials, silhouettes and patterns, points to have, and all of bunch of that stuff. I came up with this whole thing that I'm gonna do 4 colors for my 4 garments, which would be rose quartz, pink, powder blue, and sea green, and purple. That was, I was very sure of that, because for me colors is not just that much of a deal breaker. I could just run a bunch of colors, and I'll have a clear picture in my head as to what I want. That was not at all the problem. After that, I went with materials, and I wanted hard silk, lace, satins, silks, linens. I wanted a little stiff kind because I wanted enhanced sleeves, so I wanted them to stand. So I took like linen, silk material, blend of bunch of things. Now and then for silhouettes, I think I was pretty sure that I wanted like a corset, ruffles, a dress, or turtleneck, and sort of that kind. Then I went for, I think here I'm just still explaining, I'm a little behind. All right. So for silhouettes, I wanted a lot of ruffles, enhanced sleeves. I wanted this to be a spring collection. So basic inspiration was stones, gemstones, rocks, colors from those. I'm gonna make a storyboard completely different, so stay tuned for that. But for now, just gist of it, and I had points to be given out for sure, which was I wrote down 4 points so that I don't forget. I wrote colors and textures found in rocks and gems, holographic crystals, abstract and modern, handloom fabrics. There were just some points that I wanted to keep for my board that I was going to do in the part 2. I had to do a bunch of boards, so for that I just wrote down all those stuff. And after that I wrote down outfits, in the sense I finalized on what kind of dresses I want, which were like few pants, few blazers, few bodysuits, corsets, dresses, and crystals. I wanted to add some rhinestones and all of that. That's what I did. And on the second page I wrote the storyboard, and I wrote the theme name, I wrote points to hit, all of that. This I'll do it in a separate elongated video to show what I inspired from. Whatever I wrote down was kind of personal, so I'd probably polish it more and give it to you guys. So for now, that's all it is. And me just explaining bunch of crap. I talk a lot, yes I do. I'm aware of that, but anyway, not going off topic. The next portion that you're probably gonna see is me doing some journaling of these designs that I wanted, which I was pretty sure of because I already, as you can see, I wrote them down. So from the next sheet onwards, it's probably going to be that. So that's what I'm gonna do. So we have come to the exciting part of this designing process, at least for me. I thought. So this is like the journal of design, where initially I just jot down anything and everything of designs I have in mind, just random jotting down, just getting out of my head so that I can peacefully sleep. In the beginning, I just wanted a lot. I was very clear of certain things that I wanted, and I definitely wanted to incorporate that in my collection, and I did not want to give up on that. So starting from corsets, I wanted pants, I wanted blazers, I wanted a enhanced sleeved tops, ruffles, I wanted turtlenecks, I wanted skirts, I wanted quad sets, a lot. I had a lot in mind, but obviously I had to just get it down to 4 garments, and one of which was supposed to be non-wearable. I wanted bodysuits, but I don't know how much of bodysuit I could have done it. But since I was not the one actually stitching, that saved me a lot of time and a lot of patience, or bandwidth of controlling my stuff. It I just wouldn't be able to process it if there wasn't a tailor. Like, I would have freaked out and I would have backed out of this collection. But luckily I had a tailor. I found a tailor, which was great. Now what I am doing here is I'm just randomly drawing whatever comes in my head, whatever I had in mind from a long time. I was just thinking, and I put on some music, and I was just peacefully just drawing jackets. I was drawing turtlenecks. I was drawing ruffles, skirts, and I had certain things in my head clear from when I wanted to start this collection. I wanted them to be raw, draped, enhanced sleeved, a lot of ruffles, a jacket. I wanted deep necks. I really was pretty sure of certain things, but I was not sure if I would get the material for it to work out or not. But that's the thing about designing. It's just great when you're just jotting things down. You have these amazing ideas, but sometimes they just don't end up how you want them to be, and that's okay. And here at the end, I just realized that I want enhanced sleeves, so I just would go back to the turtleneck that I drew, and I draw enhanced butterfly neck sleeves so that I don't forget. One of the most difficult things I had to do was planning this in a very very short amount of time because I just procrastinated my way out of this. I had a lot of things to do, other things. I know this was supposed to be my priority, but yeah. Anyway, this designing process became extremely stressful because I had very short amount of time for me to actually deal with a lot of things. I had to do a bunch of trial and errors, and but this day was pretty good because I was just drafting things however I wanted, and they were actually turning out a little good. Don't mind my drawing skills. I mean, they're much better than this because these are just ideas I'm trying to put out of my head so that again peacefully, like, I can sit in peace and just draw them properly, carefully with detailing. But for now it's just scribbles, that's all it is. But I was already kind of sure about the materials I wanted. I wanted a lot of I wanted lace, I wanted satin. When I was thinking of corsets, I was thinking of boning and um actual corsets. So for the corsets I wanted satin corsets because I wanted to give that shine. Now I already luckily decided on colors, so I was pretty clear on what all I want. So I thought, and as you can see, in the middle, I drew an S, which I wanted from crystals, and I wasn't sure if I was going to get that, but I was just hoping to, when I go for materials, when I go to buy materials, I was hoping that I will somehow find that S because I wanted to represent my initial when I'm showcasing my collection. That's why I was like, I need this. So basically at the end of the day, I had a lot of things very clear in my head. I just had to get them out in paper to the tailor and everything, so it helped me a bit in that way. The fourth step is making the boards and designs. So currently what I'm doing is searching for the pictures on Pinterest. Pinterest is the best for everything. I'm currently doing the color texture board, style board, client board, inspiration board, storyboard, and bunch of other boards. And then I would proceed to do the actual designing of the outfits in Illustrator and then make few other boards out of it, which I'll be showing you in the next clip. But for now I'm gonna be doing all of this because this would give us a bit more clarity on how we want a certain thing to be like. So that's the best part of going through Pinterest. You get more ideas also while you're at it. So that's what I'm gonna do. And from the next clip, I'm going to show you what all boards I did. Basically, I called it Tranquil Collection, and this is for spring and summer. This is the first cover page. This is the inspiration and research board, bunch of pictures which connect to me. This is the mood of the collection, how it's gonna be. This is the concept. Feel free to pause and read if you want to. And this is the style board, and this is the swatch and texture color board. This is the client board, which is me myself, and these are the final four designs. After putting the four designs, we start with the technical sheet, which is just a bunch of information regarding the particular dress. Every outfit needs to be done in technical sheet and cost sheet, which would come next. This is the cost sheet. This is basically costing, how we would want, how much is the amount, from where, the materials, everything comes in this, which eventually helps us to put a price on the garment. The next step is fabric hunting, getting it dyed and giving it to the tailor, explaining him the design, all of that, which I did. Had to go through, I think, 3-4 stores, found the perfect fabric which would work, and then I had to give it to dye. The one that you're seeing now is a mix of polyester and satin, I think is what he said. And one more was just chiffon for the skirt, for emerald skirt that I was gonna do. These were the 4 final materials I was going to use for all the 4 dresses, and I got them dyed as well. So this is for the emerald dress, this is for the lining, and this is the actual chiffon fabric. And then we went to the tailor, got it done, and this was for the trials to see if everything is good. So basically, I had no time for submission, so I had to do the photo shoot at my place itself, and this is how it happened. These are the pictures and the final boat that I created, and that's it. So if you like this video, please like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.